Hello, hello, my name is Manic Insomniac and welcome to the Darkest Dungeon. Yes, that very, very popular game that everybody is playing right now, and I've tried so very hard to play it. I've not had much luck with recording this, so it doesn't play nice with some recording software, so yeah, I've recorded this video like 4 times. A little bit annoyed, but anyway, we'll carry on. If you don't know what Darkest Dungeon is, it's one of those 2D strategy dungeon explorer turn-based thingy majiggies. Yes. The theme is very much horror, specifically demonic horror, I'd say. Yes, think Eldritch Magics and non-Euclidean beasts. Think Lovecraft and Van Helsing and stuff like that. That's the type of thing you can expect from here. There's ghouls, there's tentacled monsters, there's cultists, it's all that type of thing. And your job is to build a party of adventurers and go and explore various dungeons until you can defeat the biggest dungeon of all, the Darkest Dungeon. Fairly straightforward. So I've been playing this on and off for the past 6 hours or so. I knew a little bit about it, but now I know a little bit more, I guess. As you can see, I've been playing around with this one just to get some practice in, but we will start a new one for this video, because why would I begin halfway through? We just need a good name. Obviously the Manic Hamlet it's good, but we need something a little better. So I was thinking Innsmouth, because why not? If we're going to go in for horror, we're going to go in for one of the Lovecraft greats. So yeah, let's jump into it.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
Okay, if that intro video didn't tell you the tone of this game, then nothing else will. You've got that amazing narrator, that voice just fits in so well, and the art style very evocative of Western comics, but very good at showing off the aesthetic of this game. For all of its simplicity and lack of movement, it still has a surprising range of movement, which is odd, and the shadows and everything, it just works really, really well for the game. So it's fun to watch. Very fun. Okay, so there's not much else to say, so let's just jump into it. Start off with just 2 soldiers, Reynold the Crusader and Dismas? Oh, hang on, the game's trying to tell me things. And Dismas the Highwayman. He has hard noggin, he has a good stun resistance and extra speed, but he's not allowed to gamble. And Reynold is a warrior of the light, so he's extra damage as long as we keep the torchlight high, but he will only pray for stress relief, and he's known to steal things like a little bitch. Okay, so let's just get into this first level. Go, go, go. I don't need to walk, I just need to click on the room.
Brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead.
Okay.
Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a simple combat system, but it's fairly nuanced in what you can do. So each ability has different effects. So I can't use pistol shot at the moment because he's too close. If there was someone behind him I could shoot, if there's someone behind that I could shoot, but I can't shoot the first place. So it's a grape shot can shoot any position, but it changes things depending on positions and what's going on. You've got to think quite tactically about it for all the simplicity of the basic system. There's a lot to it. It's cool. I like it. And there's lots of debuffs and everything, but we can bring him down with 2 nice quick attacks.
As the fiend
There we go.
falls, a faint hope blossoms.
And you get loot at the end of the mission. Fairly simple. Of course, that's the stress. You gain stress as the mission continues. Stress basically adds debuffs after you get to a certain level. And if you get high enough, your character can have a heart attack and die. She's never fun, but there we go.
Unchecked.
Oh, we got some nice
There
gems
is
there.
much to be found in forgotten places.
Okay,
An ambush. Send these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
alright, we're going to try and hit a bleed on this guy. If we can hit him with that debuff, yep, he'll take damage over time, which is lovely. And we will also try and stun him.
Masterfully executed.
The thing to remember with the debuffs in this game is, though, the more you apply them to a singular enemy, the more the enemy becomes immune to them. They gain like a buff to stop them getting debuffed. Like he's going to be harder to stun now. Something to remember. But it prevents you like stun locking people and stuff, which I think is cool. Like, not a bad choice. And of course the same can happen to you. Like it'll be, I think it is anyway. It should be harder for you to get, unless I'm misremembering, you know. There we go, another grape shot. He's got the same basic ability of me as there, but he's got a debuff on his, which increases my dodge. Not very fun, but with a smite we should be able to finish this guy off.
Their cursed champion falls.
There we go. And they leave corpses in their position. Remember, positioning is very important in this game, so if you can fill a position with a corpse, then it's taking up space that the enemy wouldn't be able to do anything with anyway. Here we go, we can use the pistol shot we couldn't use before because he's at the back. Nice big chunk of damage there. Hey, we dodged it. Nice. I don't think the Crusader has any abilities that can reach that far, so he's best just doing full walk of light, which is not only a torch increase, but it increases protection. Self debuff. Self buff rather, not self debuff. Oh, we missed our attack. Great. Generally you don't want to not act because it increases your stress, but of course I can always just attack the corpse. If I can get the corpse out of the way, he would be forward then, which would allow the Crusader to attack. But it doesn't matter because Dismas finished him off. We got some nice stuff there. And that's a tutorial mission, nice and quick. Okie dokie. Right, we're going to return. No, we're not going to continue. Return to Hamlet because I'm pretty sure that chest is always trapped. Which is like, why would you give yourself a wound? That's just silly. There you go. At the end of the mission, it adds up your spoils. Basic gold for general buying of things, and then heirlooms, which is another form of currency which allows you to upgrade the village home base in a way. Okay. You also get experience because it is an RPG, and your characters can gain new traits. And here we've got one bad, one good. So we've got Hieromania, which means he experiences religious visions and delusions. Don't know how that's going to act up the game. It usually means they act in odd ways at random times. Warren's minus 20%. Oh, that's good. So he's good at not being stressed in the Warrens. Okay, awesome. But to give an example of them acting out of turn, he has the Kleptomania skill, which I showed you earlier. If we come across any loot lying around, just on the ground, he might just choose to steal it, just because, and then I don't get any of it. He just goes, yeah, that's mine. There's nothing you can do about it.
Welcome home, such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
There is a building after a couple of missions you get, which called the Sanatorium or something like that, which means you can get rid of bad traits and stuff. So we would be able to remove kleptomaniac and stuff. Costs a bit of gold, costs a bit of time, but it's worth doing usually because some of the stuff can just be really annoying. And here we see all the quests that are available. So many quests, but not much else to see there. Okay, first thing to do when we get into the Innsmouth Estate is to head to the stagecoach and fill up the party. You can have 4 party members on it at any time, but generally you'll want a massive roster. I've compared it to XCOM in that fashion.
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
Yeah, it's very much like XCOM in that fashion, where you have to build up a roster and upgrade your soldiers and get them new equipment and all that type of stuff. This has a similar vein. So here we go, we've got 2 new people. We've got Veteripont, that's the name. He is a support debuffing guy. So he has extra protection, extra damage in the cove. He's scared of being in the warren, so he takes extra stress. And he's obsessed with material things, Hylomania. Okay. As you see here, he causes blight, which is a poison effect. That's a stun. I think this is yes, another stun, but it clears corpses and stuff. He also has access to a buff and a healing spell and a bleed, which we can unlock later once we get the trainer. And then we've got Tortival, which is our Seeker Vestal, which is kind of like a healer class. She's irrepressible, so +5 virtue. And Satanophobia, which is +20% stress damage versus unholy, which isn't going to be great. The first dungeon you go into is full of unholy skeletons, so we might want to, hopefully we can get rid of that quite quickly. As you see, she has Mace Bash. Healing spells, very good, cool. And Elimination obviously adds the torchlight as well as doing damage, which is pretty damn awesome. I do like Judgment really, but we can get that down the line. Okay. I'm not going to show so much of it. Well, I might as well do it while we're here before we let him talk.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
Yeah, this is just like a quest log basically. It allows you to replay old videos and stuff. I wouldn't have clicked on these, but he's got a cool voice, so why not?
Most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion.
Yep, graveyard. Anywhere, anytime your dead soldiers come, they go here, and this guy's far too happy about it. Look at him. What a dick bag. Right, okay, so that's the town screen. There's not much to do yet because you have to unlock all these buildings. They have various things like stress relief, training, new soldiers, equipment upgrades and stuff like that. But the next thing to do is go and embark on our first mission.
A mecca of madness and morbidity. Your work begins.
Okay, and this is how you get loot and special items to increase people's abilities rather. Interesting. You got various areas to go through and quest and dungeoneer and get all the loot, and then the end goal is to defeat the darkest dungeon itself. I can go there right now, but I will die. Like, there's no 2 ways about it. This is designed to be very, very hard, so we need to get a few levels before we bother. So we're going to go to the ruins and do the scouting mission there. And we just need to build a party by chucking 4 people at the bottom here. Oops. There we go. And your party's built from right to left. So this is the front of the party, this is the back. And they've all got preferred locations. And that partly depends on their abilities. So like Reynold here, he can only really do his attacks from the 1st or 2nd position. If he was in the 3rd position, he wouldn't be able to do anything really, apart from Bulwark of Faith, I think. And I think they gain like a benefit to being in these positions. So like Dismas prefers to be in the middle because he's like got that ranged ability. He prefers to be towards the back. And our healer prefers to be in the middle, so we're going to swap these 2 around since she prefers to be there. And I think it's got different... I'm not sure what this means, I'll have to find that out. I don't know if it's a buff or what, but yeah. If someone can tell me in the comments, that'd be fantastic. Like, let me know. Right, and then the next part is to provision for the quest.
The cost of preparedness, measured now in gold, later in blood.
Okay, so most importantly, you need torches. There's a light level aspect to it, and torches run out over time. If the light level drops, you gain stress, and enemies can ambush you. They get all sorts of dodge and crit bonuses, I think. It's not very good. So you want to keep the light level up, and of course there are traits that have different effects depending on the light level and stuff. But generally you want it up, less stress. Food, which is good for healing. And if you're in a dungeon a certain amount of time, the party will last to eat, and but it restores health, so it's good. Shovels for dealing with obstacles, usually rock piles and stuff. I think we only need one really. I'm probably going overboard with that. There we go. And a key for chests. I'll also take a bandage just because bleed effects are not fun. We've got an anti-venom, we've got some holy water. I think that's a good start. I never use the holy water really, so I'm going to sell that. Oh, okay, never mind. Oh no, that's one you start with because I've got... Okay. Never mind, ignore that part. But we'll embark. Let's go fight this mission. Okay, let's get into it. There we go. Right, and it's just a case of crawling for this dungeon. The task in this one, we get different quests depending on what we choose, is to explore 90% of the rooms, which this is the first dungeon. It's usually the same layout. It just means we can do all but one, but generally you'll be able to do all of them. Like, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to. And really you should. It's a little bit extra experience, a little bit extra loot. You know, unless your soldiers are, unless you've had a bad time and people are dying and are stressed out, then you just carry on and do it. Like, okay, first enemy is a couple of bone rabble skeletons. So we're just gonna grape shot them. They're not very strong, even though we've just completely missed that first attack. Disorienting blast, yep. Stunned and switch their positions, not really much of an effect here, but yeah. Bump in the night. One thing to note, that this game has some amazing attack names. Bump in the night is one example, but there's another skeleton enemy later, which I hope we get to see his attack, because it is just hilarious. Like, I love the naming of it. There we go. Smite does extra damage against skeletons, so completely destroy that. Bit of stress relief for her, that's awesome. I think with open vein, skeletons can't bleed, but it should do the damage. Yep.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
We get some loot. Awesome. I'm going to light a torch, and we're going to open this chest.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Another shovel. Lock of Fury, abomination only. So that's a class only item. So that would be interesting. Should we ever get an abomination? Well, let's go to the next room. Okay, taking stress damage. Yes.
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
Now you can remove that if you don't have a shovel. It just means that I think your characters do generally take damage, so you want to avoid that where you can. Okay, here we've got a different type of skeleton enemy, and we've got the cultist acolyte, and she uses a lot of ranged abilities and stress related abilities, so you don't want to let her get too much attack on you. So I'm going to hit her with a bit of divine light. Knock a debuff on her, minus 20 dodge. So with a nice grape shot, we should do some decent damage. Awesome. I think let's light this guy. Light does affect his skeletons, unlike bleed. You can still poison a skeleton for some reason. Now I think it's this guy that's got the ability I like, but he's gonna have to die. Or not. I think I meant to click spite then, but never mind. There we go. So he takes a big chunk of stress damage. Graveyard Slash, that's my favourite move in the game so far, because it makes me think of the Monster Mash. The Monster Mash! It was a graveyard smash. yeah, I have too much fun with that. There you go, she's dealt with. It's just a case of getting rid of this skeleton. I think a Noxious Splash should do it. Or not, no? He's blighted anyway, so he should die as soon as he tries to do anything. But I'm going to use Illumination, keep that light level up. Nope, I need to use a torch anyway. Smite him!
Their formation is broken.
That wasn't smite again. Apparently I can't click that button. Yep, let's grab the stuff.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious
Use
killer.
one of our torches, keep that light level up. If it gets 10 to 75, that's when you start seeing the buffs go down. But you get better abilities against enemies if you've got your torch up. I'm going to move to this one next, and then we'll come back and loop around. So we hit all the rooms as we go through. Taking stress just because. We'll use someone else, because Reynold is prone to stealing things. That bitch. Or holy water. Onyx. Okay. It's gone down again. New torch. Now we've got a Curio in here. It's usually a random effect, but we've been surprised by them this time, so it's messed up the entire party. Oh boy. Right, you can move back. Doesn't really affect him, but you're useless at the front. I want you move forward, so you can actually use your abilities. And we'll start with a nice Zealous Accusation. Hit both of these guys for a nice chunk of damage. We don't really need a heal. Oh, that's all you can do. So let's just do a party heal. Twas the graveyard smash. It's your turn again, really? Okay. Heal up Dismas here. Keep him full. Right. You move back, you need to get to the back of the party. Quarrel! In the side. Ouch! Alright, we can go grape shot now though. Hit them all. Almost, almost. I think a Zealous Accusation should finish these two off.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
I was hoping that would get me a stress release, but never mind. Certain actions sometimes seem to potentially give you a stress relief, but we're not overly stressed, so it doesn't really matter. We'll just switch these two guys back around. You can send a blinding gas down there, stun this guy hopefully. Yep. That's the buff, you can't overly stun them of course. And you can't do anything at the front, so just Bulwark of Faith, get the torchlight up. Extra protection. Pistol shot. Almost, almost. What's going to do? Noxious Blast? Nope. Flame Grenade, that's the one. And that should be enough. Yep.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Okay, let's have the lady go. Ornate Fountain. Reinvigorates the heroes. It's just a heal. Not too bad. And a stress relief. Even better. Okay. Unfortunately, it's only one use. Have a bit of a scout. So there's a trap down there. Trap down there. Curios here and here. Okay. Curios can be anything. Sometimes they're backpacks and... well, usually they're like backpacks or something. Stop all getting stressed out, man. Okay. Up again. There's a battle up in this room as well. Right, where's the trap? There's a backpack here, that's a curious. Oh, it's not in this corridor. Uh-huh. What are you doing? Oh, I guess that's his ability. Hylomania. So if he thinks there's loot there, he'll go for it just to get it. It's not like Kleptomania, so I've still got the stuff. But if that had been a trap, he might have done it anyway. So I'll have to watch out for that. New enemies again. This guy has Rend for the Old Gods, which I think casts Bleed and a couple of other effects. Never too fun. Right, let's go for Illumination. Let's take out this girl at the back, because she can induce a lot of stress. We don't want that. We'll go for a Grape Shot, hit all three. Awesome. Plague Grenade. Hopefully that means the blight will kill her off as soon as she acts. Yep.
Slowly.
That's what you call tactics.
This is how
That's
a life
accusation,
is
these
taken.
guys. Noxious Blast him. He's really the most dangerous. A Grape Shot Blast should turn him off. Yeah! Yeah! Just like that, guys. Simples.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Yeah, it's only easy on this first level. It doesn't stay that easy. You'll notice I used a key on this chest. You still get loot no matter what, but if you use a key, you can sometimes open a hidden compartment which gives you extra stuff. Which, who doesn't want extra loot, man? Who doesn't want extra loot? Right, we've got a trap here. We can only see that because it's been scouted. If not, it would have just been activated. But it gives us the chance to disarm it. Yep. Not guaranteed, but it's always good. We get a bit of stress relief. Not gonna lie, that's pretty awesome. I need another torch already. That's food. Never mind. I'm sure it could do with eating. Slowly running out of torches and loot space. Nothing in this room. So we got a curio. Oh god, he's kleptomania started. Couldn't click on it in time. A lot of food and some gold. Not too bad. I've had worse, trust me. But still not fun anyway. Hunger, see that? Right. They all want to eat. Get a bit of health in the meantime though, so that's not too bad. This door. We've only got 2 rooms left and we're pretty intact. Quest is complete, but we're going to continue because, as I said, there's only 1 room left. Why would you stop now? It's a bit of a harder fight, but it's well worth it. Still stressing out. Oh my god. You might as well eat some food, get full health. Got another thing here to shovel through. I'm glad we found that shovel because I only brought 1. And here we are. Final battle. This one gives you 2 more enemies. You obviously got a crossbowman. He's a big tanky guy, and he's like a stress debuffer guy. Not very fun then. Basically chucks his drink at you, and he's very rude. We're going to try and blight him. One thing to note is you can stack this debuff of blight, so they take even more damage from it. Hit them all. That's some good damage, hopefully. Hey, we're dodging him. He's almost. If I'd done 1 more HP. Tempting Goblet. Not very damaging, but does a lot of dash damage, so never fun. Right. Illumination should finish him off. Nice. Get that torchlight up. We'll go for a zealous accusation on these guys. Do a big chunk of damage. So even the corpse is still poisoned, it's hilarious. Right, great shot. Finish all these guys off. Pulls the crossbowman forward a bit, so hopefully he's out of position. I don't think he is though, but let's see if we can get an extra point of plague on him. Yep, which means he'll be taking double damage. No, he resisted it, sorry. If it had worked, he would have been taking double damage from that. So 8 instead of the 4 he's currently taking, which is awesome. Keep that torch level up. If we smite this guy, that should finish him off. Yep. Extra damage versus Unholy is always good. And I think a final plague grenade. Either way, the blight will get him. Oh, no. Dismas gets to get him. With a nice crit. That's a lot of damage. There we go. We got some junk.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
And we get a couple of busts. One of the currencies for the game. Couldn't think of the word then. It allows me to upgrade the village. Awesome, and we're done. So we might as well just go home. That's it. That's a whole level, and that was relatively easy. Relatively easy. Can use words and stuff. We've got a whole bunch of treasure though. That's a lot of treasure. That's nice. Plus the 3,000 from the reward.
And you know, just a few of those. But they do get harder, and some of them are longer, and yeah. So it can take some time to get through some of them. Let's see, Reynold has got a bad trait, which means he has a less crit chance. Dismas has got minus damage if the torch is high, and backtracker, no penalty for walking backwards. Okay. Could do without the light sensitivity one, but there you go. Not the worst thing in the world.
Once, our estate was the envy of this land.
I bet it was. Okay, so it's just telling you that negative perks can get worse, but not the worst thing in the world. So everybody's leveled up. We've got new places, the Tavern and the Abbey, for stress relief, but honestly we don't actually need it. I've had times when they've almost been full on stress. We've done our first quest, so not too bad. We can recruit some new soldiers while we're here. Yep, another seeker, always handy. Oh, two of them. Oh, an arbalest. Okay, they're like an archer. +2 speed if torch is up. Disease resist. +2 20% stress damage versus unholy. 15 damage on first round. We'll take her, but probably not going to take her on a mission until we get rid of that debuff.
Shoot, bandage, and pillage.
And we'll get Jubit as well.
The dancing steps of war.
She takes less stress damage and she does less melee damage. Do you know what? That's not too bad. Not really going to be using her. She's only got the one melee ability anyway, and I'm not really going to use them in melee because they're a healer character. In a pinch, yeah, sure, but why would I? Anywho, as you can see here, this little button here lets you rename the heroes. So here's what I'm going to offer to you guys. Drop me a comment. Choose a hero type, one that's here or one I can get in the future if you're aware of them. And I'll pop your name on. Why not? A lot of people are doing this. It's always fun to get the community involved, and you get to watch your character slowly die and go insane, which is always fun. You know, who doesn't want to watch that? But yeah, drop a comment, you know, alongside any suggestions you got for the series in general. Help me out. Alright, what else?
Fresh kegs, cards, and curtained rooms promise solace to the weary and broken alike.
Okay, so we've got the bar. I always like to increase the
With enough
bar
ale,
part.
maybe they can be inured against the horrors below.
Increasing these allows them to remove more stress, which is pretty good. And then the same.
The cobwebs have been dusted, the pews set straight. The Abbey calls to the faithful.
And then it's the same with the Abbey. It's a similar thing. Like, they do various tasks. And the reason why there's 6 different things is that some people like different things and some people hate different things. There are certain characters that will only meditate to feel better. There are some people that are not allowed to gamble at all. Like, I believe, yeah, Dismas is a known cheat, so he's never allowed to gamble. So we have to make sure we just can't put him in that slot. It'll screw him over. But I've known people like God-fearing, he will only pray to get better. He's got a lot of debuffs at the moment. Holy hell! But yeah, so that's something to watch. And at the same time, there's a guy in the town. Yeah, this guy, the caretaker. I think he's from the house, and he just takes up a slot every now and again, just because. But you can unlock more slots as you go around. You see, they're currently boarded up, but with the upgrades, they slowly get more and more. So that's about it. The next point is just go on another mission. We'll get more soldiers, more loot, more abilities, and unlock more of the town as we slowly rebuild it. And you know, I'm going to try and do 2 dungeons per episode. That seems like a good round number, depending on the length. You know, some tend to take a little bit more time, but otherwise, Darkest Dungeon will be coming out every Monday and Saturday from now on. It's going to take the place of FTL for a moment. It's going to go on here hiatus for a little bit, just because there's only so much you can do in that game, and I wanted to play something new. I've been playing FTL for a few years. But that means at this point we now have content every day of the week, so there's always something for you to enjoy. So like, drop a subscribe, come and see what other stuff we've got on offer. Tomorrow is Underrail, of course, so make sure to join us for that. But until then, I've been Manic Insomniac, and good night.